Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's gonna be a little bit different. I wanted to just sit down and have a little vulnerable heart-to-heart with you guys. I feel like I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little bit nervous, but let's get into it. Over the years, I feel like my YouTube channel has become a more personal diary of sorts, but I do recognize that a huge part of my channel is also just my journey as an artist and small business owner. And a major thing has changed in that I'm no longer selling handmade art. Handmade art is what I started off with, is what I'm known for. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are here because you watched my clay videos. I want to preface by saying I love handmade art. I love clay and I love sculpting, and it will always be a part of me. And I'm so grateful for this community that we've built surrounding handmade art. But for me, I just couldn't do it anymore. So that's this video. Let's talk about why. But real quickly, your girl's gotta pay her bills. This next portion of the video is sponsored by Ritual. Thank you, Ritual, for sponsoring this video. You guys, I can't believe it's taken me this long to start taking a multivitamin, but I'm on my second bottle of this now. This is Ritual's Essential for Women 18 and Up. It's a clinically backed, clean, high-quality multivitamin for women ages 18 through 49 to help fill key nutrient gaps in the diet. I've always been hesitant about taking supplements because, not every supplement is made equal, but what makes Ritual so special is that the Essential for Women is actually USP verified. USP is a quality certification that sets the highest bar for product transparency. Less than 1% of multivitamins have earned this mark, but Ritual's Essential for Women has. Ritual is also made traceable, meaning they share where their key ingredients come from and also why they're in the vitamin, so you know exactly what you're putting in your body. Because like I said earlier, not all ingredients are created equal. I've tried a couple different vitamins in my day, but this is definitely my favorite. I love how each capsule is essenced with mint, so it's refreshing to take it. You can take these anytime, but I prefer to take them in the morning with my breakfast. I take 2 of them every day, and these are delayed release capsules, so they are gentle on the stomach as well. You can take them with or without food. The other thing that makes this so easy is that it's subscription based, so you never run out. I love their multivitamin for women. I also love their Symbiotic Plus. This is one of my travel must-haves for keeping me regular. So yeah, you can use my link below for 25% off of your first Ritual order. And thank you, Ritual, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Before I talk about why I'm quitting handmade art, I want to talk about why I started, or how I started rather. I've always been an artistic, creative kid. I always loved making things with my hands. It was one of my favorite things to do because it was the one thing I was good at. I'm not good at sports. I'm not athletic. I was super, super shy growing up. I only had like 2 or 3 friends at a time. So growing up, all of my free time was spent making things, whether it was drawing, painting, origami, making jewelry. Eventually, I found my first true love, which was polymer clay. I grew up watching polymer clay YouTubers like So Craftastic, My Petite Cakes, Tony Ellison, all of them. And this was when I was around like 8 or 9 years old. Fast forward to when I'm 19 years old, I'm in my second year of college and COVID is happening. So I'm at home all day. I suddenly have so much more time, and all of a sudden on my phone on TikTok, I see a Valerie Way video. And it blasted me right back into my childhood, begging my mom to buy me polymer clay, making sculptures, having this just so much pure joy sculpting. And that was the exact moment I remember I was like, let me try this again and make something to sell because my family needed money. I think that is a big part of also why I started my small business, was because your girl was struggling. Like, I still to this day pay for a lot of my parents' expenses. And I'm so, so grateful, but I somehow found a way to do it on my own terms. But yeah, that was basically how it started. Rediscovering this craft at 19 years old felt magical. I was able to sculpt cute things and ship them all over the world. I was able to create art that helped comfort other anxious souls like me, and that meant everything to me. It still does. I never thought my work could mean something to someone. And I never thought that I could mean something to someone. But almost 4 years and 5,000 pieces later, that childlike wonder, that magic started to fade. Physically, my body was breaking down. For 4 years straight, I was sculpting every day, sometimes for more than 10 hours straight, sitting alone at my desk. And this whole time, I'm still a student. I'm still in university, so I'm lugging all of my clay supplies to campus to sculpt in between classes. I'm staying up late. I'm waking up super early. Even during my thesis year, I was doing everything by myself all the time. Because I was making such tiny objects and repeating this tiny movement and gripping my tools for so long, I eventually developed wrist pain so bad that I could barely open a bottle of water by myself. And to finish my pieces, I was using UV resin, which while you're working with it in its uncured state is extremely toxic for you. And I was using UV resin for sometimes hours at a time, glazing hundreds of pieces, wearing a tight respirator, and my eyesight got so bad. My body was changing itself so I could keep sculpting things at such a small scale. But the moment I looked up, everything was blurry. I was born with pretty good vision, but now I can't drive without glasses. I can't really do anything without glasses anymore. More than the physical toll on my body, it was just so lonely. I barely had time for my friends, my family, even my partner. I really was not taking care of myself, and my mental health hit such a low point. And all of this was happening while I was trying to promote my brand that is supposed to be about coziness. I think small businesses are often romanticized online, and I certainly played a huge role in that. But honestly, I chose to romanticize my own life because it was the only way I could get through it. I definitely started to feel hypocritical. I was telling you guys to take care of yourselves, get enough sleep, drink enough water, when I wasn't doing that at all. For the sake of making handmade art, I was betraying my body and betraying my inner artist. Every time I was hungry, needed a break, needed water, I pushed through it. When I was burnt out, I still made art and I still made videos every week. And despite knowing how hard I was working, there's this constant feeling that I was never enough. That no matter how hard I worked, no matter how many all-nighters I pulled, I would never be able to make enough pieces to please everyone. I'd get DMs and even emails from people being so upset with me because I was sold out on my shop or that my prices were too high. And I know I should have thick skin, but also I'm just a person. So honestly, at one point I thought about quitting altogether, but I didn't, because I truly believe my mission is more than just making handmade art. I really do think that, even if it's not obvious or apparent, I really do think that making something that's bigger than myself and bigger than just the things I can sculpt. I didn't quit also because I'm still so grateful, like I said, for this community, and I still want to make art that brings people comfort. So it took me finally hitting rock bottom to finally close my shop last year, and I was able to take a step back and rest and really reflect on what are my true goals for Uncomfy. I'm only 24 years old. Do I really want to keep making keychains for the rest of my life? Do I really want to keep hand making things and selling this tiny keychain for $65 for the rest of my life? And doing all of that while disregarding my body, while burning myself to the ground just to keep up? I was so lost. I truly felt like I couldn't trust myself anymore because, everyone has that gut instinct, but every gut instinct I'd had for the past 4 years, I ignored. I wasn't listening to my inner voice or my inner artist. And so I watched my older videos to try to reconnect with myself. And in my very first YouTube video, it was a Q&A. And I said that my goal for Uncomfy was to make plushies. I had totally forgot my original mission. From the very beginning, my dream was to design and manufacture cozy home goods, things like plushies, rugs, lamps, more accessible pieces that people could afford. And the reason I started with handmade items because it's what was accessible to me at the time. Like, I didn't have the resources or knowledge or confidence to look for a manufacturer. Like, handmade items has always been my comfort zone. But by staying in that comfort zone, I had accidentally made it my entire identity. All of a sudden, I was known for my handmade sculpture. I was known for my polymer clay, and I was too scared to leave it. But last year, I took a leap of faith and I finally made my very first plushie. And for the first time in years, I felt like I was growing. So the truth is, I will always be an artist. I will always make things with my hands, but I just won't sell it anymore. I haven't lost the joy in making things, but I've lost the joy in making my handmade goods just to sell. I feel like this is a common occurrence when artists turn their art into their jobs, but yeah, it really did take the joy out of sculpting for me. And now I want to take that joy back. And if I ever sculpt again, it's just going to be for me, because I haven't done that for myself in years. So that's why I've switched to designing and manufacturing things, despite how scary it is, especially now. But I truly think at this point in time, this is the right path for me. I can't imagine going back to selling polymer clay items like ever again. When I decided to make this decision, to start making plushies and coloring books, I was super excited for this. But honestly, some of the comments still hurt. I know some of you guys miss the clay videos and the sculpting videos, and that's completely fair. But sometimes it feels like people liked me more when I was burning myself to the ground, when I wasn't actually being my most authentic self. Now that I'm setting actually healthy boundaries and trying to have more work-life balance, trying to make my business more sustainable in the long run, it feels like I'm disappointing people. I just want you to know, even if I'm not hand making things, I'm still putting my soul into everything I do, into every product I design, into every video I make. My soul and my heart is still in it. I used to think that running a handmade art business was my dream, but honestly, spending 10 to 12 hours each day sculpting alone at my desk, that is not my dream anymore. That should never be the dream for anyone. I really also wanted to make this video for anyone who is in the handmade art business or who wants to pursue what I did. Your goals should all be about human connection. I used to spend every day by myself working in isolation, but now I'm working in community. Now the projects I'm working on involve multiple people, and I'm employing people, and I'm raising other artists up, and I'm using this gift that the universe gave me to grow this art community. I will always be forever grateful for the times I spent with handmade art, and so grateful for everyone who joined me along that journey. I'm so proud of 19-year-old Tammy for doing this. And I'm finally at that point where I can now hire graphic designers and editors and illustrators and support other creatives, support other artists, support other small businesses. This has been my dream for the longest time, and I'm so sorry that I didn't share that with you guys in the first place. I feel like the projects I'm working on now, like my plushies and my coloring books, I feel like they're a culmination of all the skills I've learned as a handmade artist over the years, and now I can finally make pieces that will truly last forever, that will bring comfort and functionality to people's homes. And the coloring book is an experience where people can open it and relax from a long day of work, calm down from their busy lives, and enjoy art in a way that it should be. No pressure, just making art for the sake of it. Regarding how I've changed as a person, I think it all stems from being uncomfy, right? That's how I started off. But I think it's so beautiful that I've changed as a person. Same thing with uncomfy. The meaning of uncomfy has changed for me in the same way that I've changed. When I first started this channel, I was 19 years old. But now I'm 24 and I know I still have a long way to go, but when I first started, I was so painfully shy and I was so negative about myself and I was so awkward and timid and scared. But if you look at those past videos, I was still putting myself in a place of discomfort. I was actively choosing to be uncomfy by recording those initial videos of myself. I was actively choosing to be uncomfy so that I could grow. And I'm still doing the same thing now regarding public speaking, doing art markets, making new products, putting myself out there in different ways, showing more of my personal, true, authentic self. I have changed. I can only hope that naturally I've grown. At the end of the day, for my business, for my YouTube channel, for everything I put out there, my mission is still the same. I want to bring comfort and inspiration to other anxious souls like me. I want to inspire others to pursue their creative dreams, and more than that, know that it's okay to change. Specifically for my art shop, I want my art to be accessible. So designing and manufacturing products aligns more with that goal than handmade art ever did. Personally, I want to keep growing. I want to create things that light me up again. And for this YouTube channel, I want to be able to be myself, and I'm gonna try my best to be vulnerable with you guys again. Please expect more business vlogs, but also more personal content, maybe more travel content. I think this channel may become more of a personal diary than a small business diary, but we'll see. I'm still super passionate about self-growth and about creativity and about just trying whatever I'm curious about. I think following curiosity is what I'm gonna be doing from now on. I think that's it for this video. Please comment your thoughts down below. Comment whether or not you thought you wanted something and you decided that you needed to pivot. I'd love to hear your stories too. Thank you so much for watching, and truly thank you for being here through each version of me. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.
Even still, I remember knowing she could feel it too. Wasn't